Hey folks, welcome to another Notey News. Today we are got a couple of things to talk about. First off, I record content for January right now in December, and then January I'm recording content for February, and I record content in February for March, and so on and so on. That's the way I do it. I'm always a month ahead. It's just better for me with our work and everything I do. That's the best way for me to keep my YouTube scheduled. That's the way I do it. So because of that, when a technical issue happens, I already have a lot of content recorded usually, and I have noticed it myself. But when I'm actually recording the content, it actually doesn't show up in OBS when I'm recording. But afterwards, when I'm editing, I've noticed that my cam is actually fuzzy and it gets a bit blurry at times. It is an issue I'm aware of. A friend always pointed it out recently to me as well. I am working on trying to fix it, but I'm not a professional studio here. I wish I was, believe me, but I'm not a professional studio here. I'm just one person working on it. So sometimes things are going to happen and sometimes it's going to take a little bit of time to work out. I am aware of it and I am working on fixing it because I'm a little disappointed with it because I'd prefer better. It is what it is. Issues happen and I am working on it and I'm aware of it. I have actually started taking steps to try and help with there. Basically, I've been trying to push my computer to the point there. To the point, I've been pushing my computer as much as you would push it like a top range computer. That's what I've been trying to do. But I just have to accept that's not the case. I don't have a top range computer right now because I wanted the very best quality videos I can. And obviously, when I'm playing the game, I want it to look really good and I want OBS to be its high levels. But I don't have a computer right now that's going to be able to do that, so I have to cut things back a bit. I'll still look pretty good for that's working on, but that doesn't kick into probably about February. I've actually almost finished recording the full 100 episodes for February. Costed and I want to go one more episode to record. So yeah, just to let you know that was the secondary thing I wanted to talk about there. Because the main thing, the reason why I was posting this Notey News and the reason why it's got single player settings on the game, on the actual video title, I should say, not the game, but is because when I'm not a reading the instructions type person. I am not a person who will hover the mouse over things and read tooltips, or when they unlock a level in the game, we'll go see what type of things they're unlocked. I'm not a reading instructions type person. I'm a dive right in and figure things out as I go type person. So when I first started playing this game, since I'm playing single player, I assumed the single player settings would be something I would have to check to play single player. Turns out that is not the case. And if I'd read the tooltip over it, I would have known that. But I was actually looking into how to set up settings in single player, like official settings and stuff like that. If I see where people playing, I was looking into that, and that is when I discovered that single player setting is not something you have to check to play single player. What apparently single player setting does, and admittedly this is weirdly named, because it basically makes the game easier. It just makes it too easy, and I've got to admit, based on playing, when I first started playing it, it didn't seem too easy, but the more I've played it, the more I found that these settings are actually too easy. It's just too easy to tame. There's actually videos coming up in future where I tame things and I don't show it because it's just too easy. There, it's not exactly entertaining, I feel like, because there, and the single player setting being checked is a big part of why. So when I first realised that, I was very disappointed. Because I thought I was playing the game in Story Ark Season 1 and in Hunted Season 1, I thought I was playing the game with the most difficult settings enabled, basically. The most difficult settings possible, the most difficult way possible of playing the game. I was playing it not quite hardcore level because there's a hardcore level, but I was playing it in the most difficult way. At least that's what I thought. Turned out that is not the case. So I was a little disappointed about that. But what I have done is I've disabled the single players there. I've unchecked it now, so that actually starts to happen on. God, I should have checked the episode for Story Ark. season, but you'll see it in the videos when you're actually watching along with Story Ark and watching along with the Hunted. I'll eventually say on the videos like, this is where I'm sat. I've already recorded the episode where I started playing the Hunted without single player settings checked. So I do talk about it in videos. I'll do the same with the Story Ark season as well. Once I get to an episode, you'll know right at the start. This is the first episode I'm playing without the Story Ark there, without the single player settings. From what I can tell so far, here are the differences that I'm aware of. Although admittedly, when I was looking into it, there seemed to be some confusion on what I actually did. But my understanding is, from what I can tell so far, your bag always eventually, when you die, you'll leave a bag behind with all your stuff. That bag will eventually disappear, but with a single player settings enabled, it takes much longer for that bag to disappear. So when you have it unchecked, it actually disappears quicker. And I've discovered in Hunted that proves to be very nerve-wracking. It's very, very interesting. It definitely makes things more difficult. And I always found getting your bag back after you died, it was like, it doesn't even matter if you die, you can just go back and get your bag back. It's super easy, but it actually makes things more trickier there. 2, breeding, egg hatching, and the whole thing there, mating, that takes much longer. In fact, actually, the default settings with the settings I still have all the settings for mating and everything the same way as I usually would do, but it takes way too long, so I'm going to have to play around with that and try and get it to a bit lower, because it takes too long. But I'm doing some breeding in the Hunted right now, and you'll see in future episodes. I'm going to talk about it all this a little bit. It takes too long. You'll see that in the Hunted. There, so we need to play around with that and reduce it there. I believe the boss fights are much more difficult, but we do have in the Story Ark Season 1 upcoming in future. In January, we do actually have our first boss fights ever on our channel coming up. I've always wanted to do the first boss fights in Story Ark Season 1, and that is what's coming up. But that's with single player enabled. So we will be doing Story Ark boss fights in future without it, so we'll see the difference in there, but that'll be coming in February with the boss fights without it. But the boss fights with single player enabled, that will be in January. I can't remember exactly when it is, but it's coming up at some point soon, I believe. Yeah, I record a lot, so I do for my YouTube. I have content every single day now on my YouTube between shorts and everything and that now, so it's a lot to remember. Yeah, so that is a big thing. Now, this is the thing I've been thinking about, I've been going back and forth about. There's no doubt in my mind now, and I've seen other content creators talking about it in the past as well, and I very much agree with it now. Ark Survivor Evolved has a long learning curve. There's a lot to the game, and there's a lot to learn, and there's just no way you can show everything in one season, which is I was trying to do in Story Ark. So I came to the conclusion with Story. I did an introductory season beforehand and Forger in the past, and I actually thought that would be the introduction of the game. That would be what I need. I was way wrong. I was so wrong about that. Story Ark Season 1 and the Hunted Season 1 are officially my learning seasons there. That is what we're doing. With that being said, Hunted Season 1, we're still hoping to ascend off there with that and get to that point. But with Story Ark Season 1, we are not looking to bring it to end anytime soon, but we are working towards bringing that season to an end and moving on to another more Ark content in the future. There, what we're looking to do is I don't want to talk about it right now because I don't want to spoil it in the future, but we've got some things to do now, and then we're going to go to the aberration and extension because we've got more stuff there to learn. But I can't announce that I'm not going to be doing the boss fights on Genesis there, on either of the Genesis maps in Story Ark Season 1. We'll leave that for something new for our future seasons, something or another in the future when we're playing on new maps. That'll be something there we'll do. Yeah, because we need to keep some stuff back for future seasons, stuff that are brand new or never done beforehand as well. So that's what we've decided to do. But I still feel like there's quite a bit to do, but you'll have to tune into the Story Ark Season 1 to see exactly what we're going to be doing there too. But just an announcement, we are looking towards bringing the Story Ark Season 1 to a close. and Honey Season 1 will be keeping it going, and hopefully we get to a point where we're saying enough of that. I'm not quite sure right now because I've got to be honest with you. Let's just say the Honey 8 is kicking you know what. It's definitely kicking, man, you know what. I'm struggling with that. Honeyed has been, I've seen people describing Honeyed as the toughest mod in the game, toughest gameplay in the Ark, and I can see why right now because I've been struggling with it. It's going to be fun for you to watch. Anyway, that was just a catch up on news on my channel. The single player option, which I'm still very frustrated about. I'm always going to be frustrated about that. A few years from now, I'm going to be saying, you remember that time when I thought I was playing at the highest level and I was single player unchecked. I'm so frustrated about that, but it is what it is. I really thought I was playing it the most difficult way possible this game. Turned out it wasn't, so it is what it is, but we're now playing it with that unchecked. So we'll be showing you the differences and stuff like that. Or we'll be learning the differences actually as well, because I don't fully know what the differences are going to be myself. I know the boss fights are going to be more difficult, and I'm rather scared about that, to be honest. Anyway, if you like the sound of that, then please like the video. If you like to see future content, future gaming content from me, then please subscribe for future gaming content. And until next time, take care.